Script. On the morning of March 14, 2023, Aaron Jenson left his home in Riverside, California. The 29-year-old man was last seen heading to a local coffee shop, a place he frequented. Friends and family described Aaron as warm and kind. He had a passion for hiking and a love for exploring nature, often retreating to the nearby foothills for solace. However, that day something went terribly wrong, and he never returned from his routine outing. At precisely 8 a.m., Aaron's phone registered its last ping near the Riverside foothills, the last digital trace of his whereabouts. Hours passed. When he failed to respond to texts from friends and missed a lunch date with his sister, Clara, the alarm bells began to ring. By 5 p.m., Clara, along with other family members, reported him missing to the local authorities. They could not fathom what had happened to him. The Riverside Police Department wasted no time in initiating a search operation. Officers were dispatched to the hiking trails and surrounding areas where Aaron was known to venture. Local volunteers rallied to join the effort, combing through the dense brush and steep terrain with a sense of urgency. As search crews scoured the landscape, the community became increasingly anxious. Despite the large-scale search effort, there was no sign of Aaron. As days turned into weeks, the growing concern morphed into a palpable sense of dread. Investigators began to delve deeper into Aaron's life, looking for clues. They conducted interviews with friends, family, and acquaintances. Witnesses reported seeing a man matching Aaron's description near a secluded area of the hiking trail around the time he went missing.
Some claimed to have heard shouting in that direction, but no one could provide specifics on the altercation. The search crews were perplexed. While Aaron preferred solitude in his hiking trips, he did not seem like the type to disappear without a trace. He was loved and respected in his community and had no known enemies. As time went on, search efforts slowed, but the questions only multiplied. Local media outlets picked up the story, amplifying the concerns of the community. Clara, his sister, took to social media platforms to share Aaron's picture and details of the last known sighting. Her emotional plea reached thousands, yet despite the increased attention, solid leads remained elusive. 2 months later, in May, searchers made a significant discovery. They uncovered a few personal items near a creek close to where Aaron was last seen. Among them was his backpack and a water bottle, both unmistakably belonging to him. However, crucially, there was no sign of Aaron himself. Authorities began to entertain the unsettling possibility that something more sinister had occurred. As investigators delved deeper into Aaron's life, they identified several persons of interest that emerged in their examination. One individual was a local man who had reportedly had an altercation with Aaron on the day he went missing. This man had a history of violence, which raised alarms among investigators. He maintained that he had not seen Aaron that day, but the circumstances warranted further scrutiny. Then, another witness came forward, claiming to have seen Aaron arguing with someone else at the coffee shop that morning. This detail intensified the investigation.
What was the nature of this argument? Did it escalate? The detectives worked against the clock, piecing together the timeline and establishing alibis for those involved. Surveillance footage from nearby shops became a focal point in the investigation. However, the footage failed to provide the clarity that investigators desperately sought. Why did no one capture a clear image of Aaron after he left the coffee shop? Where did he go from there? These questions plagued the investigators. As months rolled on, Aaron's case began to grow colder, becoming a haunting tale of uncertainty. Friends and family continued to press for answers, but the police found themselves without solid leads to pursue. They offered various theories, yet nothing seemed to lead them closer to finding Aaron. The community remained restless, grappling with the dark cloud of uncertainty hanging over them. In January 2024, nearly a year after Aaron's disappearance, the case took a significant turn. Authorities reclassified his case from a missing persons investigation to a potential homicide case. This shift in focus further fueled speculation and fear within the community. What had transpired on that fateful day in March? Was it a tragic accident, or was there something more sinister at play? The questions surrounding Aaron's fate remained unanswered, leading to a dark void of uncertainty. Those who loved him were left to navigate the agonizing reality of not knowing. Aaron's family continued to search for closure amidst their unanswered questions. The mystery of his disappearance lingered like a chilling fog in the air, a constant reminder of the unknown. How does one cope with the uncertainty of a loved one's fate? Friends and family members found themselves in a state of emotional turmoil, yearning for resolution. Aaron's story may fade into the background of news cycles, but for those who knew him, the search for truth is far from over. As the investigation remains open, the echoes of that fateful day serve as a reminder of the fragility of life. Many search for meaning in what happened, hoping that one day answers may emerge from the shadows. In the hearts of family and friends, Aaron is not just a missing person. He is a beloved individual whose story deserves to be told and whose fate deserves to be uncovered. As we conclude this narrative, the hope is that anyone with information will come forward. Every piece of information, no matter how trivial it might seem, could be crucial in piecing together the mystery of Aaron Jenson's disappearance. The silence around his case is deafening. With each passing day, the urgency for answers only grows stronger. The unresolved questions hang heavy, leaving a profound impact on those who loved him. If you enjoyed this investigation, subscribe for more real mystery stories. Aaron's story is a stark reminder that behind every missing person is a life filled with potential, love, and unfulfilled dreams. Let us not forget those who vanish into thin air, for their stories cry out to be heard and understood.